Imagine Japan's history as a vibrant tapestry woven with threads of ancient traditions, fierce warriors, dramatic transformations, and remarkable resilience. This journey through time takes us from the earliest days of hunter-gatherers to the rise of samurai, the influence of the outside world, and Japan's transformation into a modern powerhouse. Along the way, Japan has faced periods of isolation, devastating wars, and remarkable recoveries, each shaping the nation in profound ways. Let's explore the key chapters of Japan's past, its early beginnings, the age of samurais, the arrival of Western influences, its rapid modernization, and the incredible recovery after World War II. Our journey begins in the Jomon period, around 14,000 to 300 BCE. Picture small communities living in simple, earth-dug homes, crafting pottery with intricate cord-marked patterns. These were the Jomon people, skilled hunters and gatherers who created some of the earliest forms of Japanese art. Fast forward to around 300 BC to 250 CE, and we enter the Yayoi period. This era brought a significant change at the introduction of rice cultivation. Imagine the transformation as people from the Korean peninsula arrived, bringing with them advanced farming techniques and metalworking skills. The society started to evolve, communities grew, and for the first time, social hierarchies began to form, setting the stage for Japan's future. As we move into the Kofun period, 250 to 538 CE, large burial mounds, or Kofun, began to dot the landscape, marking the graves of powerful clan leaders. The Yamato clan emerged as the dominant force, laying the foundations for the imperial line that continues to this day. This period also saw the arrival of Buddhism, which would profoundly influence Japanese culture and spirituality. Next comes the Asuka period, 538 to 710 CE, a time when Japan took significant steps towards becoming a centralized state. Prince Shotoku, a key figure, promoted Buddhism and modeled the government on Chinese principles. The Taika reforms of 645 further centralized power, reshaping the political landscape. In the Nara period, 710 to 794 CE, Japan established its first permanent capital at Nara, modelled after China's Chang'an. This was a time of cultural flourishing, with the creation of Japan's earliest chronicles, the Kojiki and Nihon Shoki. Buddhism thrived, and Japan's imperial state grew stronger, leaving a lasting cultural legacy. The Heian period, 794 to 1185, was a golden age of culture, where courtly life flourished in the capital of Heian-kyo, now Kyoto. This was a time of refined art, literature, and elaborate court rituals. Picture aristocrats composing poetry and creating masterpieces like The Tale of Genji by Murasaki Shikibu. The Kamakura period, 1185 to 1333, brought a shift in power as samurai warriors rose to prominence. The Kamakura shogunate, founded by Minamoto no Yoritomo, marked the beginning of military rule in Japan. During this time, Japan defended itself against Mongol invasions, showcasing the resilience and strength of its warriors. The Muromachi period, 1336 to 1573, also known as the Ashikaga period, was marked by political chaos but also by cultural gems like No theatre and the tea ceremony. Despite the turbulence, Japan's cultural life continued to blossom, even as the country descended into the Warring States period. The Azuchi-Momoyama period, 1573 to 1600, saw the rise of three great warlords, Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa Ieyasu, who worked to unify Japan. Imagine grand castles being built, and the arts flourishing as Japan prepared to enter a new era of peace and stability. During the Edo period, also known as the Tokugawa period, Japan entered a time of peace and isolation. Tokugawa Ieyasu established a government that would last over 250 years, enforcing a strict social order and closing the country off from most foreign influences through a policy known as sakoku. But even in isolation, Japan's culture thrived. Picture bustling cities like Edo, now Tokyo, where ukiyo-e woodblock prints and kabuki theatre became all the rage. Though isolated, Japan maintained limited trade with the Dutch and Chinese, keeping a small window open to the world. In 1868, Japan underwent a seismic shift known as the Meiji Restoration. The shoguns were overthrown and Emperor Meiji was restored to power, determined to modernize Japan and prevent Western colonization. Imagine the rapid changes as Japan adopted Western-style education, built a modern military, and launched industries that would transform the nation into an industrial powerhouse. With its new military might, Japan soon asserted its strength, winning wars against China and Russia and emerging as a significant power in the region. The Taisho period, 1912-1926, saw Japan embracing more liberal politics and strengthening its democratic systems. However, this shifted dramatically during the early Showa period, 1926-1945, when Japan turned towards military expansion. In 1931, Japan invaded Manchuria, setting the stage for its aggressive stance in World War II. The attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941 brought the United States into the war, leading to devastating losses for Japan. The war culminated tragically with the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945, forcing Japan's surrender and marking a pivotal moment in history. After the war, Japan lay in ruins, but the Allied forces, led by the United States, stepped in to help rebuild the nation. A new constitution was adopted in 1947, renouncing war and setting the stage for Japan's incredible recovery. The 1950s and 1960s saw Japan's economy soar in what became known as the Japanese economic miracle, picture factories humming with activity, and brands like Toyota and Sony becoming global icons. By the 1980s, Japan had risen to become the world's second-largest economy. Today, Japan faces challenges like an aging population and environmental concerns, but it remains a leader in technology, culture, and innovation. From its ancient traditions to its modern achievements, Japan's history is a testament to the power of resilience and adaptability. Japan's history is more than just a series of events, it's a story of transformation, resilience, and cultural richness. From its ancient roots to its modern-day influence, Japan has evolved through times of isolation, conflict, and rebirth, always emerging stronger. This journey through Japan's past offers valuable lessons on how a nation can grow, adapt, and thrive while staying true to its unique cultural heritage. Go shichou itadaki hontou ni arigatou gozaimasu.